Our lesson is Module 3, Week 6 and 7, which is the computer hardware disassembly and assembly. So last meeting, we discussed the different parts of computers. So today we will discuss how to assemble and disassemble computer system. So okay, so today we will discuss about personal computer disassembly. So mauna gyud ang disassembling before assembling, no? Kay sa computer kita di ba mag ano man ta mag assemble computer or magbungkag so disassembly. Okay. Objective, give the steps in personal computer disassembly. Number two, identify the internal PC components. So naanay siya sa inyo ang module, no? Week 6 and 7. So this is the skills needed in computer hardware servicing. So first, I can open computer case. Maka-open na ba tatanan ng computer case or computer system or computer system unit? Martinez, kaya na ba i-open ang computer?
Sir?
Nakabutan ka, I can open computer case. Kaya? Dili.
Kaya, sir.
Kaya. Ayun. Next, I can connect the mouse. I can connect the keyboard, no, and so on. So, ano ang mga skills needed? So, using flowchart on PC disassembly. So, first, no, unplug all cables and wires. Open the outer shell and case. Remove the system fan. Remove the CD, DVD drives, a power supply, tapos CD, DVD drives, then remove the memory module and remove the motherboard. So, mao yun na ang pinaka-basic sa CSS, no? Mag-assembling and disassembling. So, mao ni siyang ginabuhat sa assessment. Okay? So, any question?
Sir.
Wala, okay. Step 1, no? So, unplugging. Pakibasa o Martinez, pakibasa.
Unplugging. The first thing you do is to unplug every cable that is plugged in your computer. That includes the cables such as power, USB mouse, keyboard, internal, Ethernet, modem, A slash AM slash FM antenna, cable TV, etc.
Okay. So first, you must unplug all the cables, no? So mga peripherals. Example, the USB, the mouse, the keyboard, no, etc. Mo yun ang mga buhaton first. Next, no? Step 2, opening the outer shell or case. First, unscrew the 4 screw at the back of the computer. So, no? Next, once the screw are removed, you can remove the side panel. So, side panel, na. Okay? Then, step 3. So, pakibasa, Hermosa.
Removing the system fan. First, unplug the fan from the motherboard. You can find the plug by following the wire from the fan.
Okay. So, remove the system fan. Okay? Next, number 4, removing the CPU fan. The CPU fan is located right on top of the CPU heatsink, which is the large piece of metal with pins on the top, no? So, kung nakita ninyo sa picture, okay. So, CPU fan, top of the heatsink. Okay. Next, power supply. Remove the power supply. Sige. Martinez.
Power supply. The first thing to do is unplug every wire coming from the power supply. You must disconnect the motherboard, very large connector or plug, CD, DVD, drives, power, internal hard drive, power, and portable hard share putol.
Putol. Portable hard drive slot power. Okay.
Okay.
So, yan. Oh, remove. Step 6, CD, DVD drives. Sige. Hermosa.
CD DVD drives. First, unplug the ribbon from the back of the drive. Once that is completed, pull on the tab, securing the drive in place, then push it out from the inside.
Okay. So, remove or unplug all the CD, DVD drive, no, pati yung mga connectors. Okay. Next. 7, hard drive. So first, unplug the connector of the back of the slot and unplug the end from the motherboard. So also unplug the SATA cable from motherboard and the hard drive. Okay? Next, to remove the hard drive from the side of the slot, unscrew the 4 screw, securing in the place. You must be very careful not to drop the hard drive since it is very delicate. Okay. Sa assessment, no, bawal na mahulugan ka o mga pyesa and tools. No? So, gina-record na siya sa assessor. So, careful yun. Nang dili mo siya mahulog. No? Maski mag-proof pa kamot. Okay? So, next, step 8, memory RAM. To remove the RAM, push down both tabs holding the RAM in place which are located in both ends of the RAM. Okay? Step 9. Okay, Martinez, pakibasa.
Motherboard. The motherboard has 7 screws holding it to the frame, which are indicated by the large white circles around them. Remove them and then lift the motherboard out of the frame.
Okay, so the last is remove the motherboard. Okay, so there is a computer hardware, no, or sa computer system. Um, First in, last out. So, ibig sabihin, kung kinsa tong una nimong gisulod sa computer system or una nimong gibutang sa assembly nimo, mao tong pinaka-last na mag-out. So, unsa tong pinakauna na tong ibutang daw sa computer kung mag-assemble ta.
Motherboard.
Okay. So, pag mag-assemble ta, ang pinakaulahipod is the motherboard. So, first in, last out, no? So, LIFO na siyang LIFO. P, first in, last out. Kilo dahil. First in, last out. Diba sa mga food chain na matagatawa na first in, first out. LIFO. So, sa dire sa computer system, kilo. Uh, First in, last out. Okay? Okay, arrange the following step in chronological order. So, sa pag number 1, una diha. Pinakauna,
Unplugging all cables.
unplugging all the cable wires. Okay, next. Kasunod.
Opening the outer shell and case.
Okay, opening the outer shell and case. Next.
Removing. Is it?
Alam mo na, pag ayaw sa sunod, di ba ang mga fan, i-remove yung fan, then sunod na ang mga power supply, hard drives, then CD drives, and
Remove.
the last is the motherboard. Okay. So, identify the internal PC components. Sige. Ikaw una, Hermosa. Number one, unsa? Oh, number one, unsa man na?
Asa,
Number one. Wow, number one, unsa man na Hermosa? Tama.
wala ko'y makita, sir.
Ay, wala kayo kita. Sorry. Yan. Unsa man na number one? We'll give
Hard
you wrong.
drive.
Okay, hard drive. Number two. Oh, Hermosa, ikaw number two.
Um,
Sir, power supply yata.
Number two. Number two is the
SSDI.
FDD. Floppy disk. Number three. Sorry.
Motherboard ni, sir.
Okay, motherboard. Next. Asa power supply diha?
Number
Sir, number
4.
4.
Oh, number four is dira ko mga video card.
Ay, ano man yun, mga external
Talya.
na, na additional.
So, number nine, ang power supply. Sa likod portion man likod na portion. Okay, any question? Sa disassembly computer,
Wala, sir.
Wala, sir.
ibuhat na video tutorial. Okay, so review sa nato. the tools needed in disassembly computer? Sige daw. Okay.
Anti-static strap.
Okay. First, kailangan nyo mo anti-static strap. Number,
Screwdriver.
okay, screwdriver para sa Phillips screwdriver. Next, mga panglimpyo, cleaning materials.
Lint free
Paintbrush.
cloth.
Paint, free
Paintbrush.
soap, paintbrush. So, those are the tools, cleaning materials na need na to for assembling and disassembling computer system. Okay, so let's proceed to another topic, which is the personal computer assembly. So, assembling, sabihin mag assemble of computer. Give the steps in personal computer assembly. Okay, so flowchart in PC assembly. First, prepare your workplace. So, dapat prepare yun mo. Kung nakita niyo ito kanina sa video is prepare yun siya sa workplace. Okay, next. So, the last in na to, or the first, last out, first in is the motherboard. So, prepare the motherboard. Next, install the CPU. Install the CPU heatsink. Install the memory or RAM modules. Next is place the motherboard into the case. Connect the power supply. Install graphics video cards. Install internal drives. And the last is install the add-in cards. Okay. So, number one. So, prepare your workplace. First, you must take inventory. No? Sa assessment, kinapangutana sa assessor. So, unsa ang imuhang first ginabuhat pag maka-simple of computer. So, first step is to prepare your workplace. Take the inventory of the components of your computer. So, before you start, take an inventory of your parts. So, do not begin assembling if your computer if you don't have anything you need, no? So, kay kung ulahin mo na siya, no, late na nimo bantayan, na kulang dahil ka gram, no? So, sayang ang oras. Okay? Number two, okay, number two, make space, make time. So, building a PC takes up space about a dining room table work. So, make sure you have plenty of working room and a few hours to proceed with minimal interruption. Okay. Number three, to use an expensive or inexpensive wrist strap. No? So, anti-static wrist strap. No? Okay, so mauna. Itong blue na to sa tuwang home lab. Okay, number four, have the drivers ready. No? After you after you assemble the computer, syempre, mag-install naman ka mga drivers. So, assuming you have another internet connected PC, download the latest drivers of the vendor website of each components you have to installing. Okay. Next, prepare the motherboard. Okay? So great care should be taken when installing the motherboard. First, take the board out of the packaging and put it on the top anti-static bag. It here, oh. So, buas, kung mong iyang cellophane, dito po mo siya ibalik sa no, habang nag-install ka. Okay. So, before you secure the motherboard onto the PC, case, or chassis, inspect it carefully for a visible defect. Okay. So next, review the motherboard manual to make sure you are familiar with the motherboard layout and understand which socket is it is which. No? So next, install the CPU. So align no ang CPU socket naman na siya in mark. Okay. Next. So use the unlocking mechanism to open the CPU socket. So, Carefully line up the pins. So dali lang nimo siya mabalaan kung dili siya tama or dili sakto kung dili naka-align ng mga pins. Okay? 4. Install the CPU heat sink. So as you see the illustration, no, na siya heat sink, na siya fan. So muna, attach that bit to hold the heat sink. Okay, then plug the CPU fan power connector into proper connector on the motherboard. Okay. Number 5. Install memory or RAM modules. In order to install the memory modules, insert them into the proper socket. So mabantayan nimo na siya kay ang iyahang ngipon na putol-putol, same po siya sa motherboard. No? Next, place the motherboard into the case. So, next is screw mo ang motherboard sa mukhang case. Check the layout of the socket of the motherboard and confirm that the ports of the motherboard back panel and the holes of the case input output shield that is installed in your case. Okay. So number 4, carefully position the motherboard on the top, then line up all the holes. Dali lang. Connect the power supply. Okay, so mao na. So naay ang power supply is kaduha konekon sa motherboard. Dito sa motherboard na unsa na siya? Katong taas and isa is the 4 pin no sa motherboard gihapon duol sa CPU. Okay. Next, connect the power supply. Locate the smaller square processor power connector. So muna ko ginaingon sa inyo ha sa inyo ha na 4 pin power supply. Okay. Unsa mahitabo pag dili to masulod sa motherboard?
Hindi mag-andar
What?
ang
Dili pa mag-understand.
Okay, mag-andar siya pero mapalong dayon. So mauna ang iyahang ano na wala na connect nimo ang 4 pins, no? Kahay nakasimbolo sa computer. Nabutang man nimo ang isa katong 48 pins. Kaso lang ang isa ng 4 pins wala nimo nabutang. So ang tendency is mo under gyapon siya tunga sa pag-andar mapalong. So mauna ang iyahang ano, diagnosis. Okay, next, attach is tiny LEDs from the power reset switches. So, natay pattern ana. So, kung mapansin ninyo sa illustration sa pika sa right side, napon siya nakasulat. So, other motherboards na siya nakasulat kung asa naka-arrange sa mga pins. Kung wala, so balik ka sa standard na to. Okay, so install graphics dito part. So, step number 2. Install the graphic board. Or install internal drives. Kung mga hard disk drive, use including screw and attach the drives there. Okay. When the drives are installed, connect the power and data cable to each one. So, every hard drives na po na siya power cable, ay ano, kanang data cable. So, mo mga SATA, IDE, data cable connected sa motherboard. Then, install the add-in cards. Okay, pakibasa Martinez.
Install the add-in cards. For each add-in cards, you must choose the free PCI slot. Number 2, remove the back panel cover to allow access from the rear of the case. 3, carefully position the card above the slot and press down firmly to seat the card. Figure 59. Secure the card with a screw. Putol,
Okay.
sir.
So, screw, wala, maga. So, personal computer assembly. So, sa una, ana,
Prepare
magkasimbol ka.
your workplace.
Okay, prepare workplace. Next,
Uh,
Prepare motherboard.
very good. Prepare motherboard. No? So, maula na siya ang kaibahan, no? Sa assembling, mauna ang motherboard. Sa disassembling, mauna hindi motherboard. Okay. So, tanaw na to sa video. Any question sa disassembly computer system?
Wala, sir.
Wala na, sir.
Okay. So, let's proceed sa module. So, module 3, week 7, 6, and 7. So, quarter 1, module 3, computer hardware disassembly and assembly. Okay. So, in your module, syempre na ay what I know. So, the pre-test. Okay. So, siya. Kung walay module, so pre-secure module, o ato lang sa eskulahan, then uli na po din yun ng mga answer sheets. Okay. What's in? So, word cross puzzle, search puzzle, then rebus puzzle,
Sir, unsa na dira, sir?
ansira nimo. For example, computer man ano. So,
Sir.
murag pangitaalan nimo ba? Cow man na, di ba? Cow. Cow. So, tanggalo ng W. So, cow equals M plus P, then up, pero minusan of P plus Kalen.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Kablan ako, sir.
Murag answer-answeran lang pa. No, ang mga
Sir.
World puzzle lang.
oh,
Word puzzle.
okay. So, next, what's new? So, solve it, activity gihapon. So, discuss na nato ni materials, tools, equipment, and testing devices, and personal protective equipment. Okay. So, next is the naming of system components. So, name each components. So, 10 items. Then, next is steps in PC disassembly. So, di ba, unplugging wires, and blah, blah, blah. Next, what is it? So, what is it is the lesson proper. Okay. So, mauni. So, sa activity, dire na siya magulog tanan. Okay. Okay, next is the installation of hardware components and its peripherals. Okay, next. Personal computer assembly. Isa is disassembly. Okay, so pwede mong mag-refer sa YouTube na to. No, na video tutorial dito. So next is what's more. So match the following tools and equipment, materials, and protective equipment in column A to use it function in column B. So unsang use, unsang function, no? So mao ni ang for example, yan sila na to. Okay.
Sa yulupad ni mag-answer, sir, no?
Na mag-answer tanan. Dili na sa module daw. Okay, next is classify the tools, equipment, testing devices. So, right T is the tools, T for equipment, TE for testing devices, M for materials, and PE for protective equipment. Okay. Next, steps in PC assembly. Okay. Arrange the following steps. Answer, what you see. And next is what I can do. So, wala man tayo hands-on. Pero, basi daw second quarter or next year mag face to face pero ano lang may batches. Okay? So magulat lang ta sa announcement. Eh, lisod biya ni ato bungkag computer. Sa pagbungkag computer, di ba? Ano? Okay, next is assessment. Okay. Additional activities. Any question?
Wala, sir.
So next meeting, alam ko talaga klase last meeting kinabisi me. Next meeting napatay last module na i-discuss.
Ay, sir.
Hmm,
Nako ay pangutana, sir.
pangutanan.
Sir?
Sa pangutanan.
Ano, sir? Yan na, sir. Ano naman?
Uy, nag-left the group naman. Okay, next meeting. So, last topic na nato niya siya. So, we will discuss the BIOS or basic input-output system. No? So, last topic na nato ni siya next meeting. Monday gyapon ta. Okay? So,
Sir? Sir?
yung po neto, yung tayo lang. I-run through nato ni siya sa Monday next week. Okay, last topic na na. Tayo lang. Sige. Sa man
Sa
to,
ano, sir? Sa ano, sir ba? Sa week 4 on 4 og 5. Sir.
hmm,
Sir. Sa week 4 og 5. Diri sa yung pasil-pasil good, sir.
isang,
Nay di ay dili man siran, sir, kare good. Kaning sa ubos good sa mga activity 2.2, sir.
hmm,
Dili siya maansiran. Iba ang maggawas. Sa pagkatapos na nimo nabutang ng mga for example ning number 1, sir, ang motherboard. Tapos na nako na tanan, sir, sunod sa ubos may murag katong pagkatapos sa tom na ay magawas diri tanan mo tong ibutang nimo. Dili siya makuha tanan, sir.
sige lang, tanawon ako. No?
O
Wala,
kareng sa ano, sir?
wala answer
To
key.
sir?
Wala answer key.
Wala, sir.
Okay, sige. Next, isa pa.
Sa ano po, sir, sa activity 2.5. Unsaon ni diri, sir? Sing draw a check if you agree and X mark if you disagree. Duha man before and after, sir.
Ah, before, bago ka nagbasa sa module, wala pa man
Ah,
lesson, di ba, proper. Pag
yes,
nabasa
sir.
mo ang lesson, kung sa'yo
Sa
mo,
after.
oh, after. So, before ka nagbasa sa lesson, unsay mo ang point of view. Oh. Sa pagkumani mo pagbasa, unsay mo point of view. No, for
Ay,
example, bago ka nagbasa, ang imong pananaw, ang motherboard, una iputang, o una tanggalon. Tapos, kato nabasa na nimo ang module, last day tanggalon ng motherboard. So, ina na.
okay,
Wala
sir.
mo.
Okay, sir. Malan to, sir.
Any question?
Okay,
Hermosa.
sir.
Wala, sir.
Okay, sige.